Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing a pause in the journey. So these are going to be readings about an area in your life where you had been going along, but then suddenly something has halted your journey. So whether this is something that you have chosen to do, or whether this is something that you feel that you have been forced to do, or you just feel like you've sort of strayed off the path. That's what these readings are going to be about. So I have the Tarot of the Magical Forest, and you can pick a card from here. One of these, or more than one of these, has a meaning for you. Has the reading for you about the journey that you have paused in your life, and basically what led to that, and also how you can unpause the journey, or even if you should unpause the journey. I don't know what these are going to tell me, so we'll see. So I also have the Smoky Quartz runes with me. It's the Elder Futhark on Smoky Quartz, which I love. And I am going to put the timestamps in the description, and then you can click the reading or readings that you feel drawn to. So will it be card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, or card number 4? Feel into the cards. One of them has a reading for you, perhaps more than one. And I will see you at the reading. Bye. Hello, card number 1, people. So let's start with turning this card. Once again, this is a reading about a pause in your journey, something that has happened where you have either paused the journey yourself, or something has happened to pause it, or perhaps you have gotten off the track. So let's turn this and see. Okay, because you've been waiting for your ships to come in. So it's sort of like, sorry, 3 of Wands, and the little character, I think he's a froggy, I think they did the ones with froggies, is waiting for the ship to come in. So that's what you're waiting for. So there's something that you're waiting to happen. It's like all of your will is being bound up in that. You're sort of waiting for that. So the pause is because you can't move forward without what is coming in on that ship. So let's get some runes down and get some clarification. Okay. I'm going to put down the entire reading, and then some of these are landscape format, and then I'm going to go from there. Okay. Yeah. For sure. I'm going to throw down one more row because I can't really leave it with, ooh, thank you for deciding for me. And what's our outcome? Nice. How perfect. What a perfect ending. Okay. So your central issue right now, card number 1, people, is you are facing a challenge. It's the sort of thing where the door is open. It's not blocked to you, but you feel like you need something before you can step through it. Either it's psyching up for something, you're psyching yourself up for something. So maybe this is the ship that you're waiting to come in is your own courage. But I feel like there may be more to it than that. But either way, we have Thurizaz, which is the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's the challenge, basically. So you're facing this challenge at this point in time. You have this moment of, right now in this moment, the reason that your journey has been paused is that you're waiting for something. And again, this could be your own courage, but you're waiting for something to come in. Because the door is open. All you have to do is step through it, but this is going to take either some psyching up or just some prep. So leading up to this, you've had a big revelation. You've had a really, really big revelation. Maybe you've realized this door is here. Maybe you've realized that the journey is taking you through this door and you've ground to a halt because you don't feel ready for it. But either way, this is something that's come in and illuminated your entire field of vision. We have Dagaz, which is the breaking of the day. It's the rune of the dawn. And this has basically led up to your point where you're on the threshold and you're not stepping through yet. And we're going to find out, this reading is going to be about why and how you step through it, because you do step through it at the end. Spoilers. Here you are stepping through it at the end. You do actually move forward by the end of this. There's going to be a couple steps between now and then when you move now and the future when you actually move forward on your quest again, on your journey, but it is coming. We have the journey rune literally as your outcome rune, so you are going to be resuming your journey. You are going to get through it, but let's go back to the now. The now is you are standing in front of this open door. And you feel like you need something before you can move through it. Whether it's courage, or whether it's resources, or whether it's something that you're waiting, but it's something that you feel that you are waiting for, and that is something that is going to come to you. What is going to help you? We have algaes, which is the rune of the elk. This is also known as the moose, but it's algaes is the rune of protection and support. Look to the people and systems around you that are supporting you. This is outer support. Certainly you have inner support also, but this is what is going to help you the most is outer support. Maybe just talk to people that have maybe done this before, or maybe just connect with the people that you care about and trust in your life. Or maybe there are systems in place and people that you can go to in those systems that can help you get through this, because you are going to get through this. But it's going to be still a couple steps before you resume your journey proper. But right now you're facing this open door and you need something to get through it, basically. You don't feel ready to move through it yet. So what is going to help you is look to your support. Look to those of you who are supporting you. Look to those of the people around you who are supporting you. What isn't going to help is you are feeling... Normally, I read this as impatience, and there is certainly an element of impatience there, but it's like in the card, you feel like you have to wait for something to come, whereas in fact, you have to sort of meet it halfway by connecting with those who support you. So it's sort of like you feel like you want to honor the steps of it taking a long time. Like you feel like it should take a long time because it's so monumental. So maybe that's what's holding you back in this moment, is that you feel like it's such a big thing that maybe you should honor it by not rushing it. Or maybe you feel like it's too many steps. I mean, certainly there's an element of impatience, but I'm not really reading it so much as impatience in this one case. What isn't going to help you is seeing it as a lot longer of a journey than it is, I think, is probably the thing. And that there were a lot more steps. Because in fact, what is going to get you past this moment where you're on the threshold is just connecting with those who can support you. You do not have to do this alone. There are people and systems who are there in order to help you in this moment where you're standing on the threshold. So yes, you could go the long way around, and maybe there's a certain element of you that is feeling that you should honor its importance by doing that. However, that's going to drag you down, and that's not going to get you here any faster. The best thing that the runes are saying that you can do is connect with those who are supporting you, whether these are people you know and trust, or whether these are people that are in systems, like things that are set up to help people in your position. Either way, connecting with them will help you get through this door in this immediate step. Your next step on this path is, it's like, okay, thank you for helping me. Now I'm going to take it from here. So there are going to be a lot of people sort of clamoring in your ears. Oh, you're here. Well, you ought to do it this way, and you ought to do it that way. It's like you've gotten, this was the part that was difficult for you. This is what hung you up. So now that you're through it, you are really ready to re-shoulder that backpack and move forward, marching to your own drummer. And that's really what you're going to want to do. As soon as you get through, as soon as you've thanked the people who helped you, you are going to want to, I'll take it from here, basically. And what's going to help you is see it as a quest. See it as the quest that you are picking up again and that you are moving forward with. We have Mana's reversed. Humanity and your part in it reversed is inner, and it's you. So you're tuning out the din of humanity in order to move forward. What you're going to, and this is Ivaz, which is the U tree. So it's patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. We've passed that. So we haven't passed it yet as of the time that you're hearing this, but at this point in the reading, we've passed it. So after you get yourself through this doorway, over this threshold, then you're going to be like, okay, thank you. I can take it from here, and you will do so. What is going to help you is see it as a quest. We have Tivaz. Tivaz is Tyr's rune. Tyr's the warrior god, and he has to do with taking care of duties and responsibilities, but also, of course, riding forward on your way. So embrace the quest of it. Embrace that. Make sure that you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, but also, and that's what's going to help you a lot, is just to stay on top of it. So that, and also embracing it as a quest. What isn't going to help you is it may feel like things are going to be, things may feel like they're getting out of control. Things may be like more than you feel like you can handle. Things may be like opening out and expanding in ways that are getting overwhelming. We have Kaunaz, which is the rune of the torch, otherwise known as also the fire, something that starts like an ember and goes into a blaze. That could drag you down if you let it, just worrying about things getting out of control, which is why what helps you is Tyr's rune, which is about taking care of the duties and responsibilities. So as long as you're on top of that, embracing the quest is not going to be hard, and things aren't going to feel like they're getting out of your control. Your next step on the path, we have Isa, which is the rune of ice. This is stillness and standstill, but it's the stillness through which clarity comes. So after you've taken on this quest for a little while, you're also going to have another moment of pause. And this is going to be a moment where you're going to be like, I really need to take stock. And so you're going to stand still and let the clarity come in. What is going to help you at that point is A, letting go of things that no longer serve you, and B, embracing the idea that you're going to step out of your comfort zone. We have Othala reversed. Othala is the home and the homeland. Reversed, it has to do with those things. Really, I'm seeing it like if you want to go further on this quest from this point, after you've been at it, after passing through this threshold, there are things you're going to need to let go that are your old life that doesn't help you. Like, you can always carry forward things that help you from where you came from. But if there are things that you are just dragging along that are really just holding you back, now is the time at this moment of stillness where you're going to want to let those go. You don't have to lose them, but just like, don't be carrying them, and that's what's going to help you the most to get past this moment of stillness. What isn't going to help is it's this fear of beginning. We have Berkana, which is the rune of beginnings and birth. It's reversed in the lower line. So not wanting to truly begin is what's going to hold you back. Like, you will realize at this stage that there's part of you that is still clinging to your old life, and you can't really have the new life without gently saying goodbye to the old life. It's just you can't. So you can have elements of it. If there's things about it that you loved and that nourish you and keep you healthy and sane, for sure, find a way. But there's things that seem to be things that you need to let go of in order for you to move forward into this life that you desire, into this steps of the journey that you really, really want to be on. And and it will come down to that you are afraid of being like really in the new area of it, because you've come this far. This is what you're aiming for, and in order to be there are things you need to let go of. So not doing that is not going to help you. But what is going to help you is stepping out of your comfort zone and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. And then you will be able to step past this moment of freezing ice, like feeling like you've frozen, into the resuming of your journey. So we have the outcome of this whole reading is that you will resume your journey. We have the journey rune, Raido, and it is basically absolutely big and at the end of this particular path. So you will get there. Just a couple things you need to do first, but your paused journey is definitely going to resume once you sort these things out. So that, card number 1, people, is your reading for a pause in your journey. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. So we're going to start with this card from the Tarot of the Magical Forest and see what your paused journey is all about. So let's quickly turn this. So we have the 7 of Cups. So it looks like what has paused your journey is you've reached a point where you're going to have to make a choice. you've got a lot to choose from, and it has basically stopped you from moving forward because you feel like if I choose the one, then I won't be able to do the others. You can back burner the others. You can come back to them later. Like, this is not something that choosing one doesn't shut you out from the rest. It just means that you're going to focus on the one for a while. It's like if you get a new record album from your favorite musicians and you feel like, if I listen to this one song, then I won't be listening to this other song, but I want to listen to the other song, but I want to listen to the first song. You're going to listen to all the songs if you still want to by the time you're done with the one. So, which you probably should because you got this album. But anyway, it's your album. So, but you're basically in a situation where you feel like you can't move forward because you have to make a choice, and whatever this choice is, like, feels really, really monumental. And it feels also as though it will shut out the other choices that you also are really interested in. So you need to make a choice. Everything looks exciting, and this is what's paused you. So let's get some runes down and see what clarity they can add. Okay. Interesting. Yes, some of these runes are in landscape format. I think probably because when they were being made, they wouldn't fit. the one way, so they had to do them the other way. Interesting, very interesting. In fact, I haven't seen it that way like that I can remember. Or that's like really cool. Landscape format, and finally, where are we? Neat. Interesting. Because I would have liked to have seen this upright, but I think it's still going to be fine. So your central issue is we have Ingvaz. Ingvaz is the rune of Ing. Ing is the warrior god. Ing is the fertility god, and he has to do with active creation. So you are choosing. In this you are choosing. In this you are choosing. What your reality is going to be, basically. So you're just basically, you're going to make a choice about what you're going to work on in your life to create around you what you want to be seeing. So leading up to this, again, things have gotten a little bit out of hand. So things have expanded. You didn't have just one choice. Sorry, Kaunaz, that's the torch. You're shining your torch on this. You didn't just have one choice. Suddenly there are 7 choices, and you are feeling a bit overwhelmed with that. You're like, all of these look really good. I really want to do all of them. I don't know which one to pick, but you know you have to choose. So how are we going to get past this moment? We have Ansu's reversed. So Ansu's is the rune of communication and manifestation. It's reversed, so I'm going to say listen and have your inner communication going on. Definitely be paying attention to your inner voice in this, because that's going to be crucial, because your mind could be reasoning about this. Your mind could be like using logic to try to decide which one you should do. Whereas you should be should. Whereas in fact, you will benefit from communicating with your inner voice, because your inner voice probably knows which one of these you ought to start with, and that would be best for you, and that would be most nourishing for you. Now, what isn't going to help is there's a worry about if you choose one, then you will be shunned. Like if you choose the wrong one, you will get shunned. We have Manaz reversed, which is the rune of humanity, and your part in it. It's this sense of, I don't want to make the wrong choice because then I won't fit in society and blah, blah, blah. That's a worry. That's probably not remotely the case, hopefully. But it's also, you're also worried about not listening to the din around you. But ultimately, none of this is going to help you. What is going to help you is tuning into your inner voice and listening. Basically, just listen. Pay attention to what your inner voice is telling you. And that's what's going to get you past this moment of, okay, which one am I choosing? So at this point, you will make a choice. You will make a choice. Your inner voice will help you get there. And you will be in a situation where, okay, now we are harvesting. We're getting something out of this. And you will immediately be feeling that you're getting something out of it. And you will also have entered into the season involved with dealing with one of these. So it's like the thing I was talking about with the song at the beginning. It's like, okay, if you commit to listening to a song, then you are listening to that song. You've committed to that, like 3 minutes of listening to a song. So same sort of thing. Like so you have made a choice and you've committed to the time that it's going to take to be paying attention to that. So that's a bit of a stretch. And in fact, the landscape format works with this because it's a little bit longer of a step because you are committing to this. So the next step after making the choice is that you will have committed to that amount of time and you're going to be getting out of it the harvest that you need to get out of it. It's the harvest rune, Yira. It has to do with harvest and also time, a season. So literally a year, but it may not be a year for you. It's just basically a season of time. What is going to help you is stay in it. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice. It has to do with stillness and standstill. So once you've committed to it, stay with it. Give it your attention. Give it the stillness that it requires, that you're going to get the clarity from it, the most clarity from it. Isa is the rune of standstill and also the stillness through which clarity comes. So that's what's going to help you the most once you have committed to a choice is... you're moving forward again, but you've moved into this, and then you're going to basically get out of it everything that you can get out of it. And what is going to help you do that is the stillness that you're going to give it while you're in it. The stillness through which clarity comes. You're going to be giving it the attention and the presence and the stillness that is going to give you the most out of this. What isn't going to help you is we have Othala reversed. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. Reversed, it has to do with... So I'm going to read this a couple of ways. First of all, letting go of what no longer serves you. So letting go of something. In making one of these choices, you feel like you've left behind another one of the choices that you were really interested in. And you may be thinking about that one that you let go, and you won't be able to focus and get the most out of it that you want to. Secondly, it's something new. Once you commit to something new, it's new and exciting, but it's also something new, and it's out of your comfort zone by definition. So you may be worried about that. It may make you feel a bit eepish that you're not in your comfort zone because you're doing something completely new. So those things might drag you down. If that starts to be the case, just remind yourself you did commit to this and you have made this choice and you are going to give it the time that it requires and the attention. So do that. It's not long. It's a step. It's a solid step in your life. It's a solid step on your journey, but it's not like forever. It's a specific finite amount of time. So just commit to that. Like you've committed to the choice, commit to that. And then you'll be able to get the most nourishment out of that. And it's good. So your next step on the path after that is you're going to feel very, very worthy. You're going to feel like your life is more rich then, which is great. We have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. This is the wealth that you tend. It's cattle. So whatever you take care of that enriches your life, as long as you're taking care of it, that's what you're doing. That's what you're dealing with at this step. So you got through this and it's great. And you got through it and it has enriched your life and it has felt really, really good. So what's going to help you in that step is let it illuminate your entire field of vision. Let your entire field of vision be illuminated. Let this vanquish the darkness. We have Dagaz, which is the breaking of the day. So you will be able to see a lot more clearly coming through this after all of this focus and this new experience. So this is what's going to help you is this enriched vision. And it's going to help you see how your life is more rich now. And this is really, really good. What isn't going to help you is we have Laguz, which is the rune of water and the flow and emotion, intuition, and heart. So there's a little bit of worry that you were doing this and you weren't flowing forward, perhaps. Or maybe you're worried about, maybe there's like an emotional component to this that might make things difficult for you. But this is the opposite. So just like let yourself be in this moment, feeling this moment of richness in your life, and that will help things move forward anyway. Things are going to move forward anyway. And your outcome rune, which is really interesting, we have Vunyo reversed. Vunyo is the rune of joy, and that's why I was saying I would have liked to have seen this upright, because it's like you got through this and now you're happy. But it's an internal thing. It's like you activated something inside yourself that is your inner joy, and you've tapped into that at this point. So that's something happiness being like any other emotion, fleeting. You're not going to like live happily ever after. You are going to have this moment of, okay, that has activated some deep inner joy in me. This is really, really good. What happens after? It's beyond the reading, but you could always go back and choose something else. So there you go. So that is your reading, card number 2, people, for a pause in the journey. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 3, people. So we're going to turn this card over and we're going to see what it is about this journey that you are on that has been paused and what has caused the pause. And we have the Hermit. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like you have paused this journey in order to get some more clarity on things away from the din of humanity. So it's like you're going to do this little bit of solitude, searching in solitude for what you need to go forward on this journey, but it's something that you need to do. You need to like step away and get in touch with all that. So let's get some runes down and see what there is that they can clarify about it. Okay, interesting. Yes, some of these runes are in landscape format. I'm going to throw down the entire reading, and then we're going to see, interesting. We're going to see how that goes. Getting a lot of the landscape ones in this spread. Ooh. And not a lot of repeats as far as position in these readings, which is really interesting, because sometimes I will have like readings and a lot of the readings will have like matching runes and matching spots. These ones so far, this is the 3rd one I've done in this session, and it's all been very, very different. Okay, your central issue here is Tivaz. Tivaz is Tyr's rune. Tyr's the warrior god. He does not necessarily have to do with battles and fighting all the time. He has to do with taking care of what needs to be taken care of and tending to duties and responsibilities. He's like a good king. So you're now basically saying, I need to take care of some things. I have to pause my journey because I need to take care of some things. And this is going to have to do with my quest, but it's in order to continue with my quest, I need to go and deal with my duties and responsibilities so that I can move forward. Leading up to this, we have Fehu reversed. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. Fehu reversed is... Well, Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. It's cattle, so it's the wealth that you tend. It's not just money. It's like the things that, as long as you take care of it, it keeps you feeling worthy and of worth. Reversed, it has to do with inner, so self-esteem, as well as, confidence. So there's that going on. Like you were very confident coming up until this point, but now you see that there's things you need to do. As well, there may be a sense of you may not feel as worthy. There may be like a loss of worth feeling, which is why you're going to take this little side quest, not little, but like this important part of the quest to take care of the things that need to be taken care of in order to proceed. So what is going to help you? Number 1, embrace the beginning. We have just begin. Begin it. We have Berkana, which is the rune of the birch tree and birth. It has to do with beginnings. And so that's really what it is going to be about. For some of you, it may have to do with family. There may be a connection to family aspect. Definitely not for all of you, but that's an element of the Berkana rune because of the birth connection. So what is definitely going to help you, though, is embrace the beginning and to begin. So make sure that you are taking that. Like you have to, I know I have to do this, so I'm going to begin it. So begin what you know you need to do. Take care of it. Like sometimes you can just sit there. The example that just popped into my head is like, man, I really need to vacuum. And you just sit there going, every time you see it, like the little piece of whatever on the floor, and you're like, I need to vacuum. But as long as you don't do it, it's always going to bother you. Just do it. Begin it. Do it. So you have duties and responsibilities to do. Do them. Begin them. Get up and take the steps that you need to do to begin that. What isn't going to help is that you feel a little bit overwhelmed. It's like there's a lot. There's a lot that needs to be done. So that could drag you down. It's just like, you keep seeing that piece of whatever on the floor and you're like, it's there and it's so much and I have to do it, but just do it. Get up, get yourself up, start it, just begin. And that's what's going to help you the most. What your next step on the path line is these runes go really well together. Tivaz and Ingvaz. Ingvaz is Ing's rune. Ing is the fertility god, and this has to do with active creation. So you have been getting on with duties and responsibilities. You also have the ability to use what you have to control what you can. So you're going to be shaping around you what you need to be there in order to continue with your journey. What is going to help you is shine a light on it, open out to it, expand, build on things. Like basically whatever you're working on, shine your light on it. Like shine your light on what you're focusing on, but expand that light. Like don't just hard focus on something. Like include things. Become expansive and include things that maybe you didn't think that you deserved in your life, but you want. But the things like that, like you don't just need, one fork. You need forks. So expand your idea of what you can include in your life, because your life can be as rich as you want it to be in terms of what you're building. It's like, again, not necessarily money, but just like enriched as you want it to be. So just include things if you want to. What isn't going to help is you may feel like, now that I've started, how much time have I waited to do this and how little time might I have left? And you may be very stressed about time and also what you might have to show for it. We have Yira, which is the harvest rune. It has to do with the harvest and also time. So it's just this worry about, do I have the time to do this? Do I have, I should be bringing things forth by now. It's like, no, right. This is your process. This is your process. Yes, you paused the journey in order to do this, but this is part of your journey. So if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up into you are expanding to include the things, all the things that you want to include in your life while you are shaping it and making it what you need it to be. So don't worry about that. Just do that and it becomes exciting because it's like, wow, yeah, this too. I can have this too. It's exciting. Your next step on the path line is Othala reversed. Once you've gotten to this point, you'll be ready to move forward. But in order to do that, you're going to have to A, step out of your comfort zone, and B, let go of things that no longer serve you. Things that you've just been dragging along. Like if you have moved to like a warmer place, you won't need the big heavy winter coat that you were wearing when you were in the colder place. So you don't need to drag that around with you all the time anymore. You can let that go and you'll be able to move forward on your journey better. What is going to help you is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz has to do with emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. So reversed on the helping line, we want an inner flow. So again, this is, you're sort of, these are helping each other if you're decluttering. So the more you declutter, the more your inner flow will work. But also you want to reach inside and connect with heart. And also just basically surf negative emotions. Like emotions happen, but they're like weather. So you can ride them out. Don't let yourself get like bogged down by negative emotions. What this is sort of one of the many things this is saying is just surf them. Like you feel them. It's weather. Let it flow beneath and let that carry you. What won't help is we have Vunyo reversed. Vunyo is the rune of joy. Reversed on the lower line. So it's worries about unhappiness. This is always a thing. We're always worried about what if I'm not happy. So if you're not happy, we just spoke about the solution to that. Just if you're doing everything you can to build what is going to keep you comfortable and contented around you, you are taking those steps. So when you are having these moments of that you're not feeling as contented as you want to, try not to let them overwhelm you. Like definitely address them, acknowledge them, address them, but don't let them overwhelm you. Let this become something that you surf over because you are working on it. You're definitely working on it. You're moving into the new, and also when you're stepping out of your comfort zone into like new ground, there is going to be some discomfort while you get used to things. So you're letting things flow, but it's like an inner flow that you're letting flow. This is going to be part of it. Just acknowledge that you're not feeling super comfortable in the new ground. There's going to be an aspect of that is uncomfortable. So do whatever you need to do. Connect with your inner, like your deep inner heart, but let things flow internally and see how they go, because you might come through this and be like, okay, now I'm used to the new ground kind of thing. So ultimately your outcome is you're going to feel very much more confident marching to the beat of your own drummer. The beat of your own drum. We have Manas reversed. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. Reversed, it's inner. So, reversed, it's like tuning out the din of humanity, because you are being very much individual. You're still singing your note in the great song, but you are not being swayed by everybody else, like, yapping at you. Not that the yapping is all necessarily ill-meaning, but it's basically, people are like, oh, you ought to do this and you ought to do that. It's like, thank you very much for your counsel. I am going to continue to do what I do. So that's basically what you're going to be a lot more comfortable doing, because you've come through all this, because you took the time with your own solitude, making these choices and making this beginning and creating around you the life that you want, and letting go of the things that you realize don't help you, and stepping out of your comfort zone and becoming much more comfortable with all that. You are going to be much more ready to not be swayed moving forward on your journey by the din of humanity around you. So that, card number 3, people, is your reading for your pause in your journey. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So, card number 4, people, we are going to start by turning this card, and we're going to see what your pause in your journey is about. Ace of Cups. So, your pause is that you are beginning something like really new, to do with creativity and emotion, perhaps love, perhaps, there's something that is just speaking to you on a level of heart and like emotion and creativity, and it's very exciting. So this is why you've paused, is that you're bringing something through that is very creative and emotion full. Let's get some runes down too. Yes, beautiful. Some runes down to clarify and bring us more detail, because you are worth it. So I'm going to lay down the whole reading, and we're going to see where we're at from. There's Vunyo positive. We've seen Vunyo reversed like every reading this session except for this one. So you win. you get Vunyo positive. You get Vunyo upright. And it's in a really positive spot, and it's right in the middle of your reading, so hooray. Definitely good. And what's our outcome? Ooh, neat. That's a neat outcome. Okay, so card number 4, people. Your central issue here is Othala. Othala's the rune of the home and the homeland. Isn't it funny how Vunyo is like a completely different color from all the other runes? I think they tossed it in from a different rune set. But maybe not. This is basically, it's a Smoky Quartz runes, but the one that isn't smoky is Vunyo, which is joy. Anyway, back to your reading. Your central issue is Othala. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. It is basically what your focus is to create a sense of home around you, like a sense of security and sanctuary, and this is going to be a creative thing. You're going to be working on this creatively, and also your heart is going to be very, very much in it. Home is where the heart is. The home is where the heart is. Leading up to this, we have Ansu's reversed. Ansu's is the rune of communication and manifestation. Reversed, it has to do with inner. So you have been in communication with your inner voice. You've also been doing a lot of listening, but really focused on your inner voice. And you're like, maybe you don't feel like you're as at home as you would like to. So your focus really is on, let's make that happen. Let's make home happen. So that's where you're at right now. And that's why your journey has paused, because you want to have that base, that sanctuary to go forward with. What is going to help you is, remember, you are worth it. We have Fehu, which is the rune of wealth and worth. This is not necessarily money. This is whatever makes your life feel rich. Fehu is cattle. So it's whatever is the wealth that you tend. You take care of the cattle, and the cattle will make your life rich. So, so you're in a situation where that's what's going to help you. Take care of the things that in your life, when you take care of them, make your life feel rich. Also, money might help. If you are able to, if you, this is basically saying that you have what you need to start making this happen. So if money is part of it, sure, definitely. Otherwise, just focus on the things that make your life feel rich, and that's what's going to help also. What isn't going to help is you're worried about support. You're worried about having support around you. Like maybe you aren't going to be able to do this with other people, which, is also fine, but not if you really, really want to have other people around you. So maybe what you're doing right now might not have the support externally that you would like. So this is Algi's. This is Rune of Protection and Support. It's the elk, otherwise known as the moose. And yes, it is that animal. So that's what's not going to help, is worrying about that. It's a very positive rune in the very negative line. It doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have the support from the people around you, but it says that worrying about that might drag you down. Try not to worry about that. You know what it is that is in your life that makes your life rich when you take care of it. So that's really what your focus is going to be on, regardless of what anybody around you is saying to you or being judgmental around you. Like the people that you feel you should be supporting you, maybe they are, and maybe you're just worried about them not giving you support, but maybe they aren't. And like maybe this is something that you're worried that their support is conditional. Either way, just focus on taking care of the things that make your life rich, and you'll be good. Your next step on the path line is take care of your inner duties and responsibilities. We have Tivaz, which is Tyr's rune, Tyr's the warrior god, and he has to do with taking care of duties and responsibilities, taking care of what needs to be done. The rune is reversed on the on the path line. So reversed, one of the most important things you're going to be starting to do once you've started this effort is you're going to be like, I need to be taking care of things for myself, so it's that whole make sure that your own oxygen mask is in place before attempting to assist another kind of thing. So one of the foundations of creating this home space is that you are giving yourself permission to take care of yourself and to do the things, to consider things that you do for yourself as duties and responsibilities. What is going to help you is follow your joy. There's the joy rune. There's Vunyo being the joy rune. Let your joy lead you through this. What is it that you need? Your joy will tell you. And, this could be as mundane as, in order to feel happier, I need to, I'm just looking around trying to think of an example, like iron something. Maybe I need to vacuum, and that will help me be joyful. Or maybe I need to do some dishes, and maybe that will help my joy. It could also be, what do I need? Maybe I need to spend some time in nature. Maybe I need to listen to some music. Maybe I need to dance alone in my home with nobody looking so I can just dance. That kind of thing. Just basically follow your joy. That's going to help you address and satisfy the needs that you have that are your things that you should be considering duties and responsibilities to yourself. That's what's going to help. What isn't going to help is listening to the din of humanity going, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. We have Manas, which is the, and this ties in with this as well. It's just sort of this feeling like people's acceptance is conditional on you doing what they want. And it's, okay, if that's the case, then maybe they shouldn't be there because they are not really your people who care about you. Because if they cared about you, then they would want you to be happy and not just doing what they want you to do. But anyway, beside the point, let's look at what's going to drag you down. Before you were worried that your support was conditional. Now you're worried about acceptance, in the great song where people are going to be telling you, oh, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. Just basically go thank you for your counsel, and then just go ahead and do what you know you need to do. And what you know you need to do is to do the things that will keep you happy. So that's part of the duties and responsibilities you have to yourself. Work on that. That's what's going to help. Your next step is going to be completely new ground. You have never been in this situation before. Maybe you've been like a people pleaser your whole life, and you have been in a situation where, you've always sort of put yourself second. Whether or not that's the case, after you start taking care of yourself and start really constructing a sense of home and security and sanctuary around you, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to feel like this is really new. This is like new and the potential is amazing and I'm really excited about it. What is going to help you with that is address emergencies when they happen. We have Nauthi's reversed. Nauthi's is the rune of need. The rune of need always says tend your needs. When it's reversed, it says drop everything and tend your needs. So be aware of that. Given the rest of the reading, I would also very much read this as make sure that you're taking care of your needs and putting those first. Because reversed in Nauthi's can mean emergency, but reversed in all the runes usually means inner. So tend to your inner needs. That is always going to be the case. And also, if there is an emergency, especially one that has to do with you, that you normally would have put off because you were helping other people, deal with it. Like, take care of it first, put it first, make sure you're good. Again, oxygen mask. Remember the oxygen mask thing. Make sure that your own oxygen mask is in place before attempting to assist another. That is the best way to go, because you won't be able to give the help that you want to give if you are not okay yourself. What isn't helping you in this stage is old habits die hard. Given this is the line, like worries about support, worries about what other people say, I'm going to continue on that and say old habits die hard. You may feel dug in with this. This may have become such a habit for you that you are dug in and you're not willing. It's not even that you're not willing. It's been so hard for you to lift yourself out of that. You're still a bit dug in that way. The other thing that this might be is stubbornness around you. You may be dealing with stubbornness around you to accept this new you, which is a better you. But if people are getting something out of the old doormat, not to call you a doormat, but if you're a people pleaser, then you have allowed yourself sometimes to have been that to other people. Or like people are like, this person doesn't think of me as a person. This person thinks of me as an amenity. If you have that in your life and that's something that you feel, worried about, where people are going to be like, maybe they want you to be an amenity, that's a problem. So bring yourself back up to making sure that you are being taken care of and that you are taking care of yourself, especially if nobody else is going to do this for you. You need to make sure you're making that choice. That whole line about, givers need to set boundaries because takers never do. But I definitely am not calling you a doormat. The doormat comment was on what people that may have been causing you grief may have thought of you as. But I am by no means calling you that. You have taken all these amazing steps, and you never were. You were just very, very, very helpful, perhaps. All right. I meant no offense. Entertainment purposes only. But basically, no. I mean, don't worry about that. Try not to worry about these things. You will worry about these things, but bring yourself back up to these, where you are focusing on what makes your life have richness, where you're focusing on your joy, and where you are making sure that you're taking care of your needs first before you try to assist another. And you will be completely on new ground. This is very, very exciting. Like, this is like, you feel like that horse in Dirk Gently is like, I could go to the left if I wanted to, and I could go to the right if I wanted to, and I could eat an apple. So it's great. But yeah, definitely make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And by the end of that, your resumption of your journey is that you will feel not only that you are ready to step back out into the storm, which this is Hagalaz, it's the hailstorm, it's things that are out of your control, it's chaos, it's also weather, so things that might come through and be weather. You will feel much more comfortable facing that. As well, you will have found that you yourself are much more in tune with your own nature and your own natural energies and forces, and that you yourself are a force of nature. You always were, but you've really come into realization of that, and you're in touch with that and all that. So that is your reading, card number 4, people, about the pause in your journey. I wish you all the best with this. I know you can do it. And I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.